Discuss that later. I also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted. And it included notes of statements that Donald Trump made about his prior relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege. There is no attorney-client privilege. And I see you're checking with your staff. And I can assure you, staff, this is not under attorney-client privilege because it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Will you commit to publicly providing the unredacted version of this so that the American people can understand the extent of Donald Trump's lies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
You're about as good of a lawyer today as you were when you tried to impeach President Trump in 2016. Have you apologized for that in 2019?
So will you unredact this? Will you
were
unredact
lead
this?
counsel on that. Privileged.
I'm asking you, will you unredact this?
Privileged.
Privileged, of course. I look forward to discussing this more. Now, these are obviously improper redactions.
And let me stop for a minute.
I'm talking.
If they're not privileged,
quiet.
Don't yell at me. If they're not
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock? This is on your time. It's not on Mr. Gold.
They're not privileged.
You used your improper redaction
you'll like my answer.
to continue to protect.
Time belongs to the member.
We'll be happy to release them.
We'll stop the clock. We'll stop the clock. Time belongs to the member. Go ahead.
Even though you used improper redactions to protect Donald Trump and other predators associated with Jeffrey Epstein, you did the exact opposite thing with the survivors and victims of this scheme. So their identification information was really the only thing required to be redacted, and it was not. And it's clear this was not a mistake. This was not by accident. This was not because you only had 30 days when you really used 75, and that doesn't even include all the hours last March that you were redacting it. But I'll tell you why it's clear it wasn't a mistake. There is an email entitled Epstein Victim List. There are 32 names. One is redacted. 31 are not. So someone looked at it and decided to redact something. And I will tell you that that is clearly intentional to intimidate these survivors and victims. Now, in an interview last week...
How will you tell me that's intentional?
In an interview last week, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche...
You can't go off script.
...said that any victim that wants to speak with the department has done so, hopefully. Well, thanks to the incredibly brave people sitting here behind you, we can actually ask them if that's true. Now, would the survivors and victims who are here please stand up one more time? Just by show of hands, how many of you or your loved ones actually have met with the Department of Justice and provided testimony and evidence? None. And of those of you who have not met, which is everyone, how many of you have reached out either individually or through a lawyer or representative to offer to provide testimony and evidence? All of them. And of those of you, all of you who have reached out, how many of you were denied or ignored by the Department of Justice? All of them. And despite the shameful and despicable efforts by Ms. Bondi and her department to intimidate you, how many of you are still willing to speak to the Department of Justice? All of them. Well, Ms. Bondi, it looks like you have some more witnesses to talk to.
Expired.
And I yield back.
We will go to the good gentleman from North Carolina, Congressman Knott. Thank
May
you.
I have a moment, Congressman?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Here we go. Here's the photograph. This is why he wanted to repeat everything that had been said previously on Epstein. This is his state, New York. You probably don't even know who this is. Wahid Mohammed from Afghanistan.
Yes, because I'm no longer a prosecutor.
Convicted of assault. Wow, he represents New York. Wow, yet he doesn't care about the illegal aliens convicted of crimes. Assault and homicide. No longer a prosecutor, so he doesn't care about his constituents. Here we go. Arson, El Salvador, Miguel Palacios. Fermin Flores Ramales, Mexico, rape.
Let's talk about the 70% of immigrants who are detained without a criminal conviction or arrest.
Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Time belongs to Congressman Knott.
If you're sitting there thinking, did she really just respond to a room full of survivors by
Shout out to Daniel Reed. Kudos. You know how they say, if you don't have anything nice to say, I know what I'm thinking. I'm trying to find the words. In 2026, this is the Attorney General of the United States. In theory, the top prosecuting lawyer of the country. Understanding how the hierarchy of things work. Among other things and other titles I hold, I am a chef. As a chef, when you're in the kitchen, basically things flow downhill. Some people would say at the bottom would be the dishwasher. So if the dishwasher is trash, understand that chef is trash. So if this is the top lawyer in the country, every question in my mind that I'm thinking of, I already know the answer. I've dealt with this and I've been quiet for a long time and it's just my thoughts. So it sent me into this is the world we live in. But you'll look at me as a black man and what?
holding up photographs of immigrants. According
It's a sad situation, people. It's not funny. It's not. This is one of those things you don't even look at and say, I told you so. This is one of those things, I'm like, I don't even know what to say to this. You black out the names of the perpetrators, but you take the black off of the name of the victims, survivors, people who went through this ordeal. As the Attorney General, head of the Department of Justice of the United States of America. Shout out Daniel Reed. I think it was a Jay-Z song or something to the effect of, you let them people put their feet on your desk. Blase blah, I lost all my little respect. What do you want from me? How do you expect me to move forward? I'm not one of these coon. Of course you don't see it. You don't know. I am so angry at this country.
people whose job is to hold you accountable. Think about that for a second. So here's the language to use when someone asks you what happened. The Attorney General is violating a law her own boss signed. She's hiding the names of powerful men the law says she can't protect. She's exposing the names of victims the law says she must protect. She's refusing to meet with survivors who are begging to testify. And when she's caught, she changes the subject to immigration, insults the questioner, and calls the whole thing a circus while sitting in front of people whose lives were upended by the man whose files she's hiding. So what does
Shout out
this
to
actually
Daniel
mean
Reed.
for you? Well, if you're someone who believed the promise that everything is going to come out, her exact words on Fox News last year, the answer is it didn't. The DOJ released a memo in July 2025 saying it would release no further documents and that its review was complete. It took an act of Congress, passed 427 to 1, to force additional releases. And even then, nearly half of what was released to members of Congress remained blacked out. It's sort of like ordering a book and receiving it with every other chapter torn out, and the author saying, "You're welcome." Zooming out, what happened Wednesday is a blueprint for how to kill accountability in real time. According to NPR and PBS, since taking over the DOJ, she has overseen the firing of experienced, nonpartisan prosecutors who had been there for years and worked on Trump-related cases, brought charges against people she sees as political enemies, like former New York Attorney General Letitia James, charges that a federal judge threw out after ruling the prosecutor didn't even have the legal authority to bring the case, and dropped prosecutions of Trump allies.
Do you understand what they're saying? It's like they have no legal ground to do the shit that they doing. But they know this. They just doing shit. It's like catch me if you can. Now what? What are you gonna do about it? I tell you what. That's how I feel. Personally. Fuck you and the boat you came in on. Because if you can do it, I can too. What's gonna happen? Literally. What's gonna happen? So today I challenge you. What are you gonna do? Understanding, knowing, realizing what they're doing. I lost all my little respect. You can't tell me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Don't expect nothing, because you get nothing. And I promise you, I wish a motherfucker would.